Hey all, and welcome back to another episode of OverRant, the show, the podcast where we rant about pretty much anything that I want to at the time of the writing, which we'll get to what we're ranting about in just a moment. In the meantime, we have some new faces for OverRant, the show this week. Zxyl, who is, I hesitate to say a returning person because that's both true and false. It's a superposition. And then we also have ExodusAblaze. I believe I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, ExodusAblaze.
Alrighty. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am a random guy that Zxyl was talking to, and he said, hey, I'm going to leave. He was going to stream with me, but that didn't happen. I am a small-time YouTuber / streamer. And yeah, I thought this would be fun, and I was interested, so I'm all ears.
Alrighty. And so, yep. So today we are going to be talking about a relatively new thing two relatively new things I've announced. Project NARDO and Birth of an Age. Project NARDO being essentially some software I'm writing, and Birth of an Age being a book that is a sample of what Project NARDO can do, essentially. So, before I just start going off on tangents and all that other fun stuff, you guys, I asked to review some of the information that I included. Any questions about, because I think that's the best way to start this, is, especially with you, Exodus, since you're sort of new to all of this. So, fire away with the questions.
Okay, so I was reading the post about your book. I didn't really see a lot of information about what it's about. So, what is your book about necessarily?
Okay, so Birth of an Age is actually going to be somewhat part of a book series I'm writing. The first book in that series is called Death of an Age, and Birth of an Age takes place before it, adds some supporting material, but isn't technically part of the main storyline for that series. So, that's why it's a sample, and that makes sense for where that's going.
You know, like, you're supposed to write the prequel after you write the story.
Yeah.
That's how the prequels work.
Maybe. I still don't know exactly what's going to be going into it, is another big thing.
Okay, so yeah, that's mainly what I was talking about. Like, where's the meat of the book? Because I see that you have like dragon logos and stuff, and I'm guessing it's something to do with dragons. So that had me interested.
Yes, it is. What do we call it, Mata? Like a modern day fantasy or something like that?
Modern day fantasy would be the correct term, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We won't get into the Dragon Pendant series itself too much in this, unless we have time left over at the end, and we want to talk about it.
I was saying that was pretty much all of episode 1 was talking about Dragon Pendants.
That it was.
So, Exodus, if you want to know more and have an hour to spare, or 30 minutes, you can watch it at double speed.
Yeah,
Chipmunk podcast.
Yep. I liked it. I especially liked the formatting I did for the first episode and the music I found. I think it fit pretty well. I might
MacLeod.
I might eventually try to make a fancier intro than just black background and then fade into talking, but that'll probably be down the road closer to episode 10.
What did you say? What did he say about prequels? You gotta.
Har. Anyway, so let's take some. My dog is here and is nuzzling my my shoulder.
Attack of the Canine.
Yes, she wants me to pet her, which I'm doing now, and she is sated. Sated? I think that's the right word. She's sated for the time being. Anyway, so I'll just jump into Project NARDO, real quick. My goals with it, unless anyone has any NARDO-specific questions.
Why'd you decide to name it Nardo?
I do not know.
I essentially
I do not know.
I don't know anything. I'm sorry.
Essentially, I was just I actually came up with the name a while ago when I was just looking for something I could program in my free time. I had a folder open called Project NARDO, but didn't put anything into it. So, because of that, that's where I got the somewhat seemingly random name. And that's probably not going to be the final name of the product, that's just more of its code name while I work out the alpha stages of it.
Alright.
But for those of you who are just recently joining us and wondering what the heck we're even talking about with Project NARDO, the quick synopsis of it is essentially a book building software. You have your files formatted a specific way. Nardo can take those files and generate PDFs, EPUBs, MOBI. Yeah. File extensions are fun. And HTML is the end goal of Project NARDO, as well as assisting with versioning. That's actually going to be a big thing with it as well. It uses, for you programmers out there, it uses a Git backend for its versioning, which means you can keep track of any and all changes you've made to the books, you can roll back changes, and then you can create branches, and pursue ideas without modifying your main one. And then the next bit...
Nice of you to define that for the mere mortals among us.
Yes, and so that's all nice because you don't have, like, half a dozen copies of something that you want to have multiple versions of. If you've ever... I have that problem. I have, like, Book 1, Drafts, Mark 3, and then the file is named, like, Draft A-1 _ final.
Why do, like, I've seen this around a lot, but why do, like, people come up with so complicated things for names?
So, when it comes to those name versioning things, it just sort of happens over time. You're in the moment, you just want something that at the moment makes sense, that it's a previous version of what you were working on. So that makes it... That is essentially where that comes in. Pretty much everyone has that problem when it comes to writing. I would be surprised if you didn't. I would want to learn from you if you didn't have that problem. Anyway, so the idea behind using that Git versioning system I was talking about is you can quickly and easily roll back changes to a specific point to see what you've changed. If you have an idea that you delete throughout but want to revisit, it's all still there. And then another fun fact is, like I said, the branches. So you can, let's say you have an idea that you might want to pursue but don't want to add it to the main story just yet. Instead of making, I don't know, several more files which are just copies of the old one, you can create a branch, which pretty much is a copy of everything up to that point, make the changes you want, and if you get to the point where, you know what, I like this, you can merge it into the main branch. And that's also, and because of the power of branches, and the fact that you can branch branches, you can sort of have like this entire tree of ideas going on. Now, organizing those is a naming feat unto itself, but I digress.
Then you end up with branch.
I messed that up. Forgive me. Meh.
Branches everywhere.
I do not appreciate your internet memery.
Memes?
But-
Memory? I don't know what you're talking about.
Me.
Me, mama.
Yeah, I sort of hit a peak of internet memery the other day, when I was talking to one of my friends over text, Charlie Green, also known as CG5. Let me pull that up here because I enjoyed it, so I was giving him a hard time about how he was changing his hair color like multiple times in a day using some chalk, some colored chalk. Enough doggo.
Using chalk.
For a video. So that way he could quickly change his hair color,
People who
wash
don't
it
want
out.
to be permanent.
That and his hair is already dyed a bright white on the top, so
Well, that makes it easy.
yeah. That's part of it. Anyway, so I was giving him a hard time about that, and I was like, and with that, I'm done giving you a hard time about it. Except on Twitter, if you post more about it, the gift shall fly your way faster than a cow launched from a trebuchet, the superior siege weapon. I then said, well, I think I found my calling in metaphors in online memery, and then I then continued saying, also, I have a diagram to make my point. Observe, which is a picture I found from the internet of a cow being thrown from a trebuchet.
Excuse me. Did you say that the trebuchet is the superior siege weapon?
As opposed to catapults, maybe. That is not
Sure,
a
I mean,
debate.
you're completely discounting ballistas and siege towers.
Ooh, you're right.
I mean, heck,
I forgot about
siege
those.
ladders even. Like, there's a lot of different siege weapons, each one with very particular reasoning. Trebuchet is a good one, don't get me wrong. I love trebuchets. I love me and trebuchet. Like, I mean, I'd like to build one of these days. You know, just like a nice, scale one. Scale it down. Maybe half or third scale, I think would be a nice, just to have around, But, yeah, no, there's tons of different siege weapons. Ballistas particularly, I think, would be quite more effective than a trebuchet, mostly because they don't have a minimum range.
Well, don't ballistas? Well, it depends on what kind. Like, there's like firework ballistas, or
That's true. Then you get
ones
into
that shoot at
ammunition.
harpoons. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is that ballistas don't have to have a firing arc. They can, but they don't have to. They can fire straight, which allows them to be used against infantry as well.
Yeah. I mean, but like,
This is not where you were taking this conversation, is it, Lek?
No, it was not, but that is why this is OverRant. We can go off on pretty much any tangents we want, as long as they make some sense. And even if they're talking about siege weapons, after talking about online memery, just jumping around with all of that, so...
next thing you know, we're talking about rainbows.
I mean, we could.
You're just
I mean,
like,
theoretically, you could use a trebuchet to make a rainbow.
You're
See,
right. Throw a prism up into the air. It wouldn't last too long. But
I
you
mean,
could definitely do
you
it.
could, like...
smoke. Just throw smoke in
I was going to say, use,
Ooh,
like...
color
yeah, that's what I mean. But
I was going to go with, like, actual just fill a bag with water, stab a hole in it, and then throw it. Basically simulate rain.
I mean,
Yeah.
That is why the theoretical is something that is fun to talk about, because we don't know whether or not it's possible, and we don't want to put it to the test. We're more than happy just talk.
We just came up with 4 different ways to use a trebuchet to make a rainbow.
wonder if I have.
True.
I should do that. Throw
Zxyl?
smoke in the
Access to
air.
a trebuchet?
Zxyl,
How would I get a trebuchet though?
you would end up
you can
crushing
contact-
yourself.
You can
Not with the
contact
counterweight.
MCRS.
but the projectile will just fly straight up. You'll just look at it pretty, and then it'll land and crush you.
No, it won't. Not unless he's at the other end of his firing arc.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to mess the trebuchet up so much, he's just going to fling its thing straight up somehow and land
I
directly
don't know if
on
that's
top of
actually
him.
possible with a trebuchet. Like,
That's
it's more
why you
likely to
don't
fail
touch
to launch than actually shoot straight up. I don't think it's at
That
all
is-
possible to make a trebuchet launch directly upward.
I know this.
Catapult, maybe.
That is why
but-
Zxyl is the only one it could happen to. But it's essentially a fail so epic it's a win. Essentially what you've won, though, is a bunch of broken bones and possible death. But it's a
That's
one
just called
nonetheless.
fail, then.
Rip me.
I don't know. It's fun, I guess.
Pretty.
But did he make a rainbow? That's what's important.
Yeah. Did the rainbow actually happen?
I mean, the ends justify the means here.
Yeah, you may die, but I mean, like, did you make the rainbow, though? That's the main goal. Can't focus
success
on
of the
this
experiment.
little stuff by, like, dying. You
What
gotta focus
Zxyl
on
did to
big
make the
picture.
rainbow, though, is he threw a pot of gold with a trebuchet. So,
I mean, it's not the worst plan.
and then when it landed, rainbow. Or actually, it was a rainbow arc following where the pot of gold went. That's how rainbows are made. Let's just stick to that. The leprechauns
Cool.
use trebuchets to launch their pot of golds for fun, and then the rainbows appear until they go and collect them.
I mean,
should
actually,
be a
as far as, like,
leprechaun.
a type of ammo for a trebuchet, a pot of gold's actually not a bad plan. I mean, it's highly dense, but also, like, presuming you're sieging, some sort of, walled city or castle, the explosion of money that would follow would actually be a fairly good distraction tactic.
Quick, take the money. Oh, he got away.
I absolutely love what this has devolved into. This is
Speaking
so...
of devolving, I gotta go. I gotta go run an errand.
Rip
Oh.
Exodus.
Alrighty,
So you
well,
guys can rant about me leaving.
Yeah.
well, we'll
Yeah,
still be
you'll-
around for about a half hour more. If you want to join back in, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah,
We'll
I
also be
probably
aiming
won't do that.
trebuchets at your house.
Oh, good thing I
Oh,
don't post my.
Knowing me, I'd probably
address.
miss and hit myself.
Yeah, you'll hit Animal's house instead.
No, I'll probably miss and hit myself.
All right. Thank you guys. I'll check out the channel. Is there like a link on Twitter or? I'm guessing there'll be a link in this Discord.
There'll be a link in my Discord when it goes up. It'll automatically be sent out on my Twitter, and it will be on my blog as well, theangrytechwizard.com. Also now atw/-blog.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was...
Adlec will personally tape a flyer to your face.
All right.
I mean, I could.
Okay, I'd rather not. I'll see you later.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Just imagine going to his house and just like has a hammer and nails and a piece of paper. Just all right, yep, hold still.
If you run, I shall follow you. Okay, that was... Ignore that horrible attempt at an evil laugh. That was a crazy laugh. That's what it was.
atw-blog.com.
Yep.
Hey, that rolls off the tongue. atw-blog.com.
It does.
Yeah.
Wow.
atw-blog.com.
ATW
no,
is
it-
Tech Warfare by
No, it can be like classic YouTubers now. Hey, and in case you guys didn't know, you should go check out my blog, atw-blog.com.
Well, I mean, this video's going up on YouTube, and you pretty much said it half a dozen times already, so...
atw-blog.com.
I'm just gonna say that randomly for the rest of this next half hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gonna
Yep.
be.
We're just going to be in the middle of like a rainbow
This is just
conversation.
gonna be, like,
and then all you hear
subliminally
is
messaging people.
atw-blog.com.
He's worse than Umatu at this. Zxyl, you actually know what I'm talking about, Zxyl, which is weird, now that I think about it.
What did Umitsu do?
He kept on dropping his, RSG Twitter handle.
Oh yeah, that
During the
okay.
live streams. So much so that it became a joke.
Yep.
It was almost as big of a joke as Greystar Games. And
I mean, that's kind of just what RSG live streams are.
That was a
Yes.
joke.
What?
They just become like jokes immediately.
Yeah, Greystar Games was a joke. Because
Oh.
one of our members is colorblind.
Oh.
So
And he mentions it as much as possible.
And because of that, we didn't feel bad at all going in and just being like, here, we are now Greystar Games, so that way you can see it properly.
See,
I swear, we aren't bad
Ulti's
people.
name
We aren't.
See,
we're
Ulti's
jerks.
name is Greystar Games, so
Yeah,
I was.
he sort of accepted it at this point. It's become his
Accepted
thing.
it? He did it to
Oh.
himself intentionally. It's not a case of him accepting what others have done to him. He has made this himself.
Yeah, well, I think I probably pushed the joke out of proportion more than anyone else when I modified the
but
live
Ulti
stream.
is still pushing it.
Fair enough, I guess.
It's been like a month. He's still pushing it.
Anyway.
atw-blog.com.
We need to get him an echo filter. That would... I don't know whether that would be a good idea or the worst idea I've ever had in terms
Is it
of
weird?
OverRant the show.
And I was just waiting that whole time just to say that.
I sort of regret doing that now. I think I'll probably have to go in and...
I'm gonna wait like 10 episodes and then just like I don't know, we're in the 13th or in the 12th episode. atw-blog.com.
Well, now it's not out of nowhere. You've announced it. People are going to
Oh.
watch. If you don't do it, you will have failed them.
Well, maybe I'll do it later in this episode. I don't know.
But I mean, we are... I think we just pretty much passed the 20-minute mark, actually.
Oh, we did already? Jeez, that's a.
Yeah, so let's
We're
get
also so far off topic that it's not even...
Yeah. But again, that's what this podcast is about. It's just a bunch of friends getting together, trying to talk about some relevant stuff that's going on with my blog, because I'm the one running the show. But, meh.
atw-blog.com.
That was the sound of my hand hitting my face at near Mach speeds.
Are you sure it wasn't the sound of silence?
The sound of silence.
Nope, stop. I don't want to be copyright striked. You stop that now. Okay?
atw-blog.com.
So Project Nardo.
Yes.
Now tell me, Lek, what possessed you to think that taking on such an amount of coding was at all a good idea?
Because I'm going to end up using it a lot. I mean,
Well,
Ooh,
I'm
that's
back.
the thing.
because that is one of the biggest headaches whenever you go to design a book, is first getting the ideas down on paper, and then designing the book, because sometimes you'll have the page dimensions change size. You've got to worry about where the page breaks go. So the way Project Nardo does it is it uses Markdown. A slightly modified version called Nardo Flavored Markdown, or NLM. That essentially, and you write in a text file instead of a fancy formatted Word file or something like that. So because of that, formatting is done dynamically based off of what you put into the text file and how the markdown parses it. But on top of that, it's... I can't talk today, I don't know why. Project Nardo has these things called generators. They are actually what does the heavy lifting of building the code. Each one has their own subset of Markdown that is supported. Currently, there are two main ones I'm planning on doing, which is the novel and the non-fiction. Non-fiction is essentially being for like textbooks that have, instead of just chapters, they have sections and subsections that you want to keep straight and whatnot, while novels are just chapters with like title cover in the front, some stuff in the back. So, and because of that, that means people can go in and create their own generator for Nardo that takes the text files that are in the directory and formats them a specific way. So, another example of a good idea someone gave me that I may or may not implement is a generator called Choose Your Own Destiny. Sort of like the Choose Your Own Adventure books. That one, instead of saving everything in chapters, would save it in, like, storylines. And then you would have formatting at the bottom that says, hey, after this, link to this file here as part of the timeline, or this one here. And then Nardo will be able to go in and just be like, okay, we know this is the starting point, put that on the first few pages, and then dynamically fit everything else in a semi-random format behind it. So that way you actually have to flip to the pages and jump around in the book to find it and whatnot, instead of it just being a straight, somewhat... Because I could do it in a nice design where front to back, you will always go from front to back. But that's just no fun with those books. So,
Yeah.
That's what I want people to be able to do with it. Once the base system is built, the two main features of it are its versioning potential, including like the branching and whatnot that Git allows, and then the generators.
Okay. So I have a question. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back now.
Oh.
I don't actually have to
I was
run.
about to point you out.
Yeah, I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes waiting. Like I'm back.
I saw.
Yeah, but anyway, do you plan to make money off of any of the things you're doing? And if so, how? Like, where do you think you'll get money?
What I'm thinking of doing, because if this grows, it would be something I would like to try to monetize. And now, before you guys that are listening go rage in the comments, I will keep the command line version free. That is going to be released under the MIT license. People can adapt that pretty much however they want. When it comes to Birth of an Age, that is going to... The actual story behind that is going to be released under a Creative Commons license. Currently, it's set up using the Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, and Share Alike, which is the most strict among them all, because I want people to be able to play with the formats and share the formats that they've done using my same story. But at the same time, I don't want people making money off of it by publishing my work as their own. So,
Understandable.
anyway, but back to making money off of Nardo itself. The command line version, I'm not going to make any money off of. That is going to be released solely under the MIT license. After that, however, I might make a graphical interface with like actual writing utilities and other stuff like that. And that would be something I would sell.
Alright.
So Nardo itself, free. Any additions to Nardo? Just depends. Because another one I'm thinking of doing, this might just be an add-on for Nardo, or it might be a whole new system, is a series managing system. Because at the moment, Nardo is just designed for single books, keeping them in order, and as a place where you can put your ideas for the books. When it comes for putting your ideas for the series, putting it in a book section doesn't make the most sense.
I'm just not noticing this, but I'm noticing like fuzzy noise in your mic.
Fuzzy noise.
Yeah,
Fuzzy noise.
it's very staticky. It's because
Yeah, I know. I can hear it too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because
just
it
now noticing.
is turned up all the way with the software. The amplifier I have is a cheap $20 thing. I'm hoping to eventually be able to get a new one, but that just all essentially depends on how well things take off, other stuff like that. Because currently, I don't have $100 to sync onto something that might continue to be good, might not.
I mean, you could probably just turn your gain down just a little bit, but I don't know. What mic do you have?
It is a newer NW700.
Okay.
But
What about you, MataNui?
I got an AT2020.
Okay, I have no
Microphone.
clue what those are. And Zxyl, I don't know. What do you use?
I use a headset mic. It's like a Corsair headset. Here, I know I have the box
doesn't
around
sound
here
bad.
somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad. I'm using the blue snowball. I've had my whole setup for like a couple years now. I got for like about $1,000, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
lasting pretty good.
If things start to get popular here, I might go out and buy a blue microphone, but for now, I can always go back post-processing, remove. That's another big reason why I've recorded myself separately, so I can go in and remove that noise.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I got
Makes sense.
I got my Audio Technica 2020 because people kept yelling at me for my incredibly staticky headphone mics. Like they weren't headsets; they were just like earbuds with a mic on them. Like,
yeah, they don't
cheap
have.
$10 earbuds.
Yeah. Wait, cheap $10? What? My earbuds are like $2. What you mean?
You know, like those, like the cheapest ones you get, like with a microphone on them at least. Or maybe those are just the cheapest ones on campus. I don't know. They gouge us on everything there. Frickin' bookstore. Life of a college student.
Are you guys on from the same institution?
Nope. We used to be, but not anymore. I'm going to an online college
Lex a deserter.
that I can finish a lot quicker than
Nice.
because where I'm going, WGU actually allows me to use the knowledge I already have to try to get some college credits out of the way. So,
But you left me all alone.
anyway, let's move on.
You're not even gonna try and dig
that
yourself out of
sudden
that hole, huh?
silence was like.
Yeah, I went to university for like a week, and then I was like, I kind of want to switch majors, and the major I wanted to take was just like, just regular business. So I'm now starting. I quit university. I got all my money back. It was pretty expensive, and I had to pay for myself. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to a not university, like something 10 minutes away from home, where I can get a business degree and get good grades and save my money, get a car, and live life without being secluded.
My university is 10 minutes away from home, so
yeah, But it's weird. We have a large college here, but we definitely aren't a college town.
Yeah, like it's an interesting, weird situation. Yeah. Anyways,
If the college were to close down, not a whole lot would be affected, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no. We still got a bunch of industrial stuff.
Oh yeah, that's actually where I'm working. I'm working down in industrial at the moment, fixing a system I built for a company 2 or 3 years ago. Well, not fixing, improving. Which, I'm not going to get into that. If I start ranting about that, we are going to be here for 10 hours. Because some things there don't make me the happiest person. Especially when it comes to working with other distributors. Who I rely on for absolutely... No, I don't think it's the job you're thinking of, Zxyl. Anyway.
Because I remember you ranting about that one job.
Oh yeah, that was my call center job. Working at Comcast Business Internet Services.
No. It was the one you develop stuff for.
I mean, I don't think I ranted too much about that one. I definitely ranted a whole lot more about the call center job for Comcast. Luckily, it was Comcast Business and not Comcast Residential.
Did you ever adopt an Indian accent while being...
No, I did not. But I talked to a lot of people that had one. Especially when I was transferring people over to residential. Or taking calls from residential because business people got... I'm not going into it. That one is an even longer one that I will not get into at this point.
Fair enough.
What did you say, Zxyl? Hello? You guys still there?
Yeah. Sorry.
All right.
Zxyl, everyone is virtually staring at you.
Yep, pretty much.
There's another Discord update already?
Oh, I see that.
I just updated today. Yeah, I won't.
Yeah.
Don't click
the pretty button. Shuts everything down.
Don't go into the light!
But it's so pretty. It's nice.
I said don't go into it, Lek.
Okay. So, in that case, let's go ahead and talk a bit more about, Birth of an Age, unless anyone has more questions about Project NARDO. Oh, something...
No, I do not.
Yeah, something I should say, I'm planning on writing it in Ruby, as opposed to, Python or Java or anything. Because I just recently learned it and want to continue pursuing it. It creates a whole lot of other interesting issues that I won't get into because not everyone has a Ruby interpreter installed on their computer.
What's that? What?
Ruby is like Python. You have to have another program installed in order for it to execute the actual code.
See, I don't really like Python. Not the biggest fan.
Wait, so what programming language do you like then?
Well,
Or is Python the only one you know?
No, it's not the only one I know. Well, I'm currently taking high school, even though I'm young, offers this critical thinking class, which basically in that class we're learning how to form and develop a website, right? So
HTML and JavaScript.
Yep. Yep. I was about to get into that, but
first off, HTML is not a programming language. We have to get that out of the way first.
Yeah, I understand that.
JavaScript barely qualifies.
Yep.
Okay, I'm being a bit too mean on JavaScript probably, but It's better than PHP, I guess, is where I'm going with that one. The main reason I'm learning Ruby is for Ruby on Rails, which is an awesome PHP-like application framework. So I can write things that are PHP-like in the responses and whatnot, but without touching a single line of PHP. Which makes me so happy. So yeah.
I'm not typing.
Oh, okay then.
Yo.
Hello, not typing. I'm
Oh
Lektonic,
my god.
the angry tech wizard.
Hey, Lektonic, the angry tech wizard. I'm not typing.
Exactly. Anyway,
Yep.
so again, back on track somewhat. Birth of an Age. Like I said, I'm still not 100% certain what I'm going to do with that book, but what I'm thinking, if you were here for the last episode where me and Mata just ranted on about the Dragon Pendant series, and he asked me some brilliant world-building questions. Those were fun to answer, by the way, Mata. You will know that before Death of an Age, there's the entire storyline of what happens to magic, to make it disappear until the first book comes around. I'm thinking I might cover a bit of that with Birth of an Age, but I don't... The idea with Birth of an Age is to make it a short story that takes place in the Dragon Pendants universe, so people can see what Project NARDO does, and I have essentially some sample code I can run and actively share with people. Because other than Birth of an Age, I'm going to be doing Death of an Age with Project NARDO.
So, how short of a story are we talking? Are we talking like a page, chapter, 5 chapters, a doctoral thesis?
Definitely not a doctoral thesis. No. What it will most likely be, though, is a short novel, I guess. Maybe I would say 50 pages, possibly.
I'll be right
Nice.
back again.
Okay, so
I gotta stream, so.
yeah, that's the idea behind Birth of an Age. Something that can easily show off the power of Nardo and the different configurations you can do. But
The power of Nardo in the palm of your hand.
not really. It doesn't have a portable format just yet.
Make it work on mobile.
I mean, I guess I could do that by converting everything to essentially turning my server into... Yeah, it could be doable. Just import it into Ruby on Rails, create a front end for it, using HTML and whatnot, and call it a day. But then again, that would be expensive to run, especially if Nardo gets popular, which...
But then you could have the power of Nardo in the palm of your hand.
Are you done with that?
Maybe.
You can keep the voice, though, but...
Basically the same.
Yeah.
I will try to be MataNui now.
Good luck.
Yeah, no. You should be a voice actor.
People tell me that,
Yeah.
but I don't know how that industry works at all.
Well,
there's actually...
basically sort of like what we're doing now, but you'll just have a script and you just read what people say and you just try to be dramatic.
Yeah. There's actually
Interesting.
a website that you can go on to that is specifically designed for pairing people needing voice actors with voice actors.
Oh, that's cool. That'd be cool. You should.
That's
Send me that.
what Scott Cawthon, creator of FNAF, uses. To
Oh,
get his...
goodness. Ugh.
Nice. Oh,
But it's not just him. It's pretty much anyone who creates a game
Fortnite
doesn't
voice
have the
actors.
Yeah, they
Sorry,
probably
just kidding.
use voice actors in Fortnites for like any sounds the characters make. I guess. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
That would be Foley. It's the proper term for that. For like just general like environmental sounds and sounds of movement.
Yeah,
It's called Foley.
that would be more sound design than voice acting, too.
Yeah.
So
Do you know that the way they make the sound for laser guns is that they like hang a spring and hit the bottom of it?
I did not. That's actually pretty interesting.
Or well, actually, like the spring, really, just a metal slinky is really kind of the best thing. You can also get it off of like power lines and like it's really any long thin metal that's kind of held taut can do it. But like a metal slinky hung from like a ladder or something, and you just hit the bottom of it. You get the pew, like the perfect pew. That's what they used in the original Star Wars, and it's pretty much what's used for every laser gun since.
Oh, that sounds so cool. Oh, I might have to go.
This is what you find out when you watch the special features.
Fair enough. So I think that pretty much covers most of everything I know about Nardo at this point, and I know about Birth of an Age because neither of them are very far along. Sort of. Ish. I guess. They both existed less than a week. At the time
In
of
that
this
case,
recording.
you want to return to siege weapons? Because I really think that this pot of gold and a trebuchet plan could really work.
I mean, or
I'm kidding.
we could
kidding.
steer away from that and keep it at least somewhat focused on the angry tech wizard based stuff. I guess maybe.
I don't know. Can you think of something less angry than like throwing a pot of gold at someone with a trebuchet? I mean,
Think of
one person has to
something
be
less
angry in that.
or more angry.
I mean, either. But I mean, I'm just saying that, like, at least one person in that situation has to be very angry. Because, like, either the person shooting it is very angry, or the person who's about to get hit is gonna be very angry.
Unless it's a good Samaritan throwing it over and it doesn't hit anyone. It just explodes and showers gold for everyone.
Do you realize, like, how dense gold is? Those
Yeah,
coins will kill people just off like the secondary rebounding.
You can bend gold with your teeth. Like you can bite it and like.
Oh yeah, no, it's a soft metal, but it's incredibly dense.
Yeah.
You'll probably deform the coins. They probably won't actually be like valid anymore.
Like it wrap around you if it like a giant
But I mean,
gold.
It's gold.
No, I don't know what I'm
so-
saying. I'm my brain is just rotted from life. Sorry.
Not a problem.
I'm just a mere mortal. I make funny moments videos.
I'm just
I was actually
okay.
thinking-
I can't. That's the problem with doing these is you want to do all of like the singing and all the other stuff, but then you're just like you can't because you don't want to be
Why?
copyright striked by YouTube.
That is the power of parody.
I know, but speaking of, I am thinking of parodying some stuff for doing remixes of it, work on my music and whatnot, but I was at least, but Project NARDO has taken up a heck of a lot of time the past few days. It's only been out for less than a week, but I've probably already spent more than 20 hours working on it.
Okay. I was actually sorry. I just brought to my mind. I was going to do a podcast for my group channel this Saturday. I'm not. It would be live though. It'd be like a live stream. I don't know how that would work out. We're trying to like grow in popularity because we're putting out good content, but no one knows about us, or they only know about it from me. Like they all know who I am. They're like, oh, we watch your live streams and stuff, but they're not really interested in this other channel. So I'm hoping this might be like something where they could come and get to know us better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's just on my mind.
Yeah. With that, you probably want to try to. I would start off doing that on your channel, if that's where you're trying to pull fans from. And then transition it to the source channel, I guess I should say. The group channel.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I just want people to get to know everyone better because some of the members aren't always on. But I'm probably the most active. So, yeah. I don't know. It's something fun we wanted to do too. Like a little podcast thing at the start, and then play some random games and have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I still have to figure out how I'm gonna do things with this podcast because it's still very much a thing of we don't know where we're gonna go with this.
Yeah.
It might be something that returns a lot. It might die tomorrow. Probably.
I would say to keep it alive, like try different topics that aren't like specifically cater around your blogs. Like add something else, like just random stuff like Fortnite. Who likes Fortnite? Who doesn't like Fortnite? Because that could be an hour right there. But yeah, just like other topics.
Let's teach Zxyl to play D&D.
I've played a little bit.
We've already agreed that
I'm not
that
crazy.
would be a horrible idea.
I think it'd be a great idea. Be an amazing idea. I think we should do it as soon as possible.
That would...
Particularly while Zxyl is out of the room and cannot disagree.
All in favor, say nothing. Okay, Zxyl agrees.
That... Maybe.
Democracy at its finest.
Sort of. It's a tyranny disguised as a democracy. Because at the end of the day, let's not get political here, please. I want to keep the comment section somewhat untoxic. But somewhat clean, I guess? I don't know.
What are you talking about? The comments section is always completely and utterly reasonable. Especially when during political discourse.
You see, we actually covered this in the last episode. Is that going to become a recurring thing, talking about how... Anyway, that's...
Who knows?
Besides the point, I guess, now. Stop that.
Stop that.
You guys couldn't hear it, but Windows pinged me.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, with news. I don't really care.
Put that ping back where it came from, or so help me.
I don't know why that was so funny. Dear goodness.
Dear goodness.
How come I'm the only one losing it over here?
Oh,
Maybe
what?
the
I
other
guess
searchers
are adding
sorry.
to
Monster
That's
Factory.
right. We didn't have Zxyl here, so the only one who
Or me.
then it was
Yeah.
I guess. But
Why are we all
that was good. We should make. I'm going to turn that into a GIF.
Someone R because R is my push to talk. And I just clicked on someone and just texted them R.
Arr.
But
I do
Mata,
that
thank
all
you
the
for giving
time.
me the horrible
I do that all-
idea of turning that into a GIF people can use when they get pinged on Discord.
What, R or the one? What he said?
Put that ping back where it came from, or so help me, so help me, so help me. And cut.
Okay.
Oh.
If you don't know what it's from Monsters Incorporated.
Oh, that movie.
Yes, that movie.
I know that.
I've
movie.
seen that once.
They aren't
Man,
inducted
seen it
into the
3
proper
times.
amount of Pixar.
Yeah, I know. The golden days are long gone. I guess.
What are you talking about?
No.
Pixar still puts out great stuff.
Well, I meant of people that watching what we watched when we grew up and whatnot. That we can relate to, like what you did there. I relate. Those guys don't.
Oh,
It's a shame.
no, you.
What you're saying is, Lek, is that we're old.
A little bit, yes.
Isn't this an hour-long rant? It's starting. It's like past 4. Just observing.
Don't date the recording.
Okay, sorry.
We aren't past an hour yet, even in just the
Oh, really?
recording. And we started like 4 minutes late, so... yeah, we are about... I think it's about 40 seconds away from the recording being an hour old.
Oh, okay. Alright.
But there's still an additional
Sorry.
4 minutes.
Yeah, leave it to Lek to bring up the 40-second difference.
Well, I mean, it's sitting right here in front of me. I sort of just watch it while you guys are babbling on. I can watch just tick-tock, tick-tock.
Talk. Tick.
Sadly, it's not counting down to
Repent,
the...
Harlequin, said the TikTok man.
What?
What? Ugh.
The name of a book.
Well, guys, take this awkward discussion. Take this time to
It's
subscribe.
not awkward.
You can share the video. Okay.
And consider the
Not
virtues
totally.
of building a trebuchet and using it to launch a pot of gold.
And
Or a cow.
Fortnite voice
Yourself.
actors.
By getting too distracted by the prettiness.
Oh yes, also trebuchet rainbow generators. I'd like to see extensive research on this. Get on it.
Someone should like create this, invite us all out to experience it, and then just like launch random things.
What you're now describing is the internet in general.
You know what,
Like, that's
Zxyl? We should try to make you fly. All you have to do is jump into the trebuchet, get launched, and don't hit the ground.
Now, see, actually, that in that case, a catapult would be the superior weapon.
Maybe. It depends on how much time we want to get.
I mean, honestly, it's also probably a superior weapon for launching a cow, really. Unless you're wanting the cow to die.
Oh yeah.
I'm just speaking realistically, like the whiplash, because I mean, a trebuchet is basically just like a
Okay,
mechanically
this
high
in my
power
head now.
sling, and you end up getting whipped around at minimum a 270-degree angle in fractions of a second.
Yep.
That's not good for living things.
No.
Precisely.
Well,
That's why you want a catapult
Maybe not.
for that. See, every siege weapon has its particular use. Okay, I'll shut up now.
That's why I love these things. Just we have topics in mind, but we also let the conversations devolve. To me, that is. I enjoy making these. I enjoy going back and editing and listening to them. So that's all that really matters when it comes to this, right?
Where'd my dog go?
What, Zxyl?
I'm trying
my
to.
dog was my dog was sitting right next to me, and she just disappeared.
In other news, Zxyl's dog is a ninja.
Charlie! Charlie? Are you in the living room?
Is anyone
See,
else wondering when he's gonna say "bit me"?
See.
That's the name of my dog.
I know, but
Charlie bit my finger.
no, that's not
See,
how it goes.
now my pot of gold trebuchet conversation seems pretty on topic now, doesn't it?
yes, it does. Can we go back to that, please?
No, you had your chance.
Dang it.
Well, my dog is not coming back anytime soon.
You
I
ain't
don't
coming
think.
back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Charlie. You're not coming back no more. Anyway, and with that, we are pretty much at the hour mark. at least for the recording, post-edit, things are going to be different, of
What
course.
was that? Sorry.
Just attempt to edit out the entire trebuchet conversation.
No.
There would be no content whatsoever.
Wait, did the video
We'd lose
end?
probably about a half hour.
Did the
Yes.
video end yet, or?
No, not yet. We're close.
Okay, I had to take my headphones off for a second.
Not a I'm just saying, we are now at the hour mark. I am good with shutting it off as soon as we want to. Well, I wouldn't say as soon as we want, because I want to finish it within the next 5 minutes. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
I want some sort of natural conclusion to this.
Well,
Because-
the natural conclusion is that we're all weird.
So in conclusion, when you load a pot of gold into a catapult, you need to make sure that you properly secure it to withstand the launch velocity. But once it is fired, like I'm thinking it's probably a ceramic casing is probably the ideal thing here.
Mhm.
Kiln fired, and you want to have various pieces of gold. Now, using coins seems pretty inept since they're all going to get deformed anyways. So instead, I propose balls. You'll do more damage to the defenders, and it'll still have the same effect because it's gold. You could also use possibly silver,
Or
in this-
spiked,
or
spiked balls.
if you are not really considering the distraction tactic, lead.
Or flame something on fire. Or
Oh yeah, no, like the whole,
or,
like cover the
something
whole thing in
that,
oil,
like-
light it on fire, do that too.
Flaming
ice
pot
up
of
when it
gold!
or lands in someone and like
I
freezes
want to
them.
see. Okay, now I just want to see like a flaming pot of gold thrown from a trebuchet emoji.
Huh. I wonder if there's a GIF for that.
Actually, well, I need to go contact an artist.
That... I don't know what to think of that, to be honest.
I'm literally going and messaging someone right now.
Huh.
A flaming pot
You
of
have
gold...
a GIF maker. What
So
is this?
here's what you're gonna end up wanting it to be: a flaming pot of gold launched from a trebuchet, with a rainbow following the pot of gold.
And then me getting hit by it.
You know a GIF maker? What is this? Where? Who?
That's a
I
possibility.
don't know a GIF maker. I just know an artist.
An artist
If-
that
if he
loves
makes a GIF, he is a
absurdly
GIF
silly
maker.
ideas.
Zxyl, how are you an admin in like every single Discord server you join?
Because, the Zxyl is a very good thing.
He's been with these various communities long enough to be friends with pretty much everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
If
I
you
don't
are
know how he does that though. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm friends with you,
Yeah.
Lek, and I'm not an admin.
burn.
well, again, I mean, if you want to be an admin, you can be. I
I
mean,
want to be
That
an
was the
admin.
point.
Well,
I'm just
maybe
kidding, I'm kidding.
I
Don't make
shall
me
use
an
my
admin.
majestic admin powers to be cool.
Everyone gets admin.
nah, I disabled that feature. Sorry, Zxyl.
Oh.
Everyone's an admin.
I would say
Everyone's an admin.
I would say you could
Yeah.
enable the ugly feature, but you don't really need it, do ya?
Aw, this is harsh.
But you know we love you. That's just one of the things about being friends. I can say mean things about you. You can say
know.
somewhat mean things about me. I can kick you out while we're all having a laugh about it.
Yep.
Ugh. But yeah,
Pretty
my,
much.
yeah. My thing about it is, as soon as you tell me to stop, I will stop making you a punching bag like
Stop.
this. Well, Zxyl has to be the one to say it.
Stop. Harassment.
Stop.
Keep going.
So you like to be belittled, do ya?
Oh wait, no.
You're getting spanked right now.
I am backed
this is
into a
little-
corner. I feel
The belt is loosening.
I feel bullied, harassed.
Don't be like Zxyl. He has a fetish about being insulted. Oh dear goodness,
My
that's
strange addictions.
Woo!
My name is Zxyl, and I'm
I like
addicted to being
podcasting.
assaulted.
Oh, that is. I think
I'm insulted by Lektonic at least 100 times a day, and I'm still looking to be insulted more.
I don't think there's any other way we can end this gracefully. So I'm just gonna shut it down here. Thank you all so much for coming by and watching the train wreck that was OverRant the Show, episode 2. And we will see you in 2 weeks when we release episode 3, something about something and something something.
Good talk.
That's a working title. It'll probably be changed before the episode is released in 2 weeks.
Oh, and don't forget atw-blog.com.
Again,
You just smack
close
yourself?
to the speed of sound. Yes.
No, that.
Oh.
I just thought that was his.
Yeah, it was my palm
you just
meeting my forehead in a face palm, and then slowly sliding down.
You turned your butt to the camera, just like.
No. Lek, it's a
Jack
facial
Jack
manual
Jack.
click.
Top of the morning to you.
Wait, what did you say? Mata? You know what?
Facial manual click.
Top of the morning to you, ladies.
We're doing it again. We're doing it again where we were supposed to end already, but something else happened to where we didn't. So everyone, quiet for a moment. I'm actually going to end the episode now. So
atw-blog.com.
thank you for coming by, and we will see you in 2 weeks.